Set now for 3 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner, standing 6'4", weighing in at 160 3/4 pounds, making his A1 combat debut undefeated at 2-0, representing Bay Area Fight Academy from San Francisco, California, Miteke. And now he introduces his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. At 6'3", 160 1/4 pounds, making his amateur and A1 combat debut, a member of Uriah Faber's Ultimate Fitness from Rancho Cordova, California, Iqbal Siddiqui. Your referee, Brian Tyler.
Brian Tyler kicking things off here to officiate this two-minute round. 3-round bout. 160-pound catch weight. Heya Miteke and Iqbal Siddiqui.
All right, gentlemen, round one.
Two of the more interesting names that you will hear on the entire card tonight facing off. And right off the top, Corey, I mean, 6'4" is Heya.
Siddiqui doing a great job coming out, immediately taking the center, pushing Siddiqui up on that back foot, but both guys wasting no time. And as we have these questions every time we have the amateurs on, I thought it might clip. Oh, heavy overhand. No time to talk. But both of these guys under 3 fights, hence you see the shin pads. And these are short rounds, Johnny,
yeah.
I was going to say. So they don't really have any time for that feeling out process, hence the immediate pace push from Siddiqui here.
Exactly, and we knew that after talking to Siddiqui, he said, you know, I like to use my ground game to set up my striking. Considers himself a pressure fighter. Case in point, within the first, say, 10, 15 seconds, he, you know, level change, shot right in, and now he's got Heya in a very difficult position here.
Yeah, doing a great job of following the hips, you know, not staying too adamant on keeping that back position, trying to maintain a dominant position. But Mitiki's doing a great job here, addressing the hooks whilst also not exposing his neck.
Just over a minute into the first round, and once again, these are 2-minute rounds here because both fighters have under 3 amateur fights in their careers. Heya coming in 2-0, and Siddiqui, this is his debut.
Siddiqui's doing a great job of utilizing his strikes from this back position to try to open up the choke. And it's gonna not only, you know, add up in the judges' scorecards, but also, as we mentioned, make that choke position a little bit easier to get to.
Difficult to see, obviously trying to lock in the rear naked. He does have both hooks in.
20 seconds left in this first round. You got to think it was a pretty dominant start for Siddiqui here.
Certainly is, staying very active too while on the back of Heya. And Heya came in thinking that he had the advantage on the ground, but thus far Siddiqui's been very impressive. Once again, only 19 years old. Oh, strong finish though.
Yeah.
Oh, could have been saved by the bell. He did have that guillotine and appeared to be locked in.
And that's going to increase your confidence a little bit going into the second round, Johnny. I mean, spent the vast majority of what, you know, a very short round with Siddiqui on his back, but able to get to his feet and secure a choke within the last 10 seconds. So got to be building a little bit of confidence now as we go into the second round. Both of these guys, it's their debut fight. First time under the lights, first time in the cage, and already very impressive output from both corners.
The first of 8 fights you will see on the prelims. It'll be a very exciting couple of hours that essentially is going to lead us right up to 7 p.m. Pacific time, as we will go live on UFC Fight Pass for the main card of A1 Combat 32. 7 fights on the main card. You're going to hear myself and Corey for all 15 fights, and then Jim West will be joining us on the main card as well. And we're about to be underway here in round 2.
All right, gentlemen, round 2, let's fight.
Round 2 underway. Heya Miteke immediately taking the center, but heavy bomb from Siddiqui. Loses his
Siddiqui
footing
went
a little
in,
bit.
yeah, with the right hand and kind of gave himself up, but able to recover there quickly after the takedown by Heya. And now going for, trying to set up a triangle here.
Armbar transition for Siddiqui potentially. Heya looks to have cleared the arm, but potentially using this as a sweep is Siddiqui. I can't quite see from this vantage point.
Yeah, he has Heya wrapped up right now, and it's difficult angle to see exactly what Siddiqui's trying to do here. But so far, he has been tremendous on the ground.
Metike doing a great job of staying calm and composed in this position. He has his arm safe, you know, locked up with the leg blocked for Siddiqui, but Siddiqui's doing a phenomenal job. He uses this to start getting up on top, not staying insistent on that submission. As we mentioned, these are very short rounds, so neither guy really with much time to waste.
And to their credit, that's how they're fighting. They are not wasting any time whatsoever. It's been action throughout these 3+ minutes. Well, one of the corners is screaming to stand up.
Metike appearing to be talking back to his corner a little bit, asking for help. Siddiqui did a beautiful job there, reversing the position, getting on top, and now he has 30 seconds left to work in arguably a much closer round than the first.
Tremendous transition in a full guard there by Siddiqui. Heya certainly more competitive in this second round, but overall, Siddiqui has remained in control here.
Yeah, you definitely argue in favor of Siddiqui being up. I mean, Metike doing a great job here, landing some significant strikes, although he is in a lesser position. And normally we don't like people conceding that bottom position, but with only 20 seconds left on the clock, I mean, at least he was landing something in terms in the eyes of the judges.
And with Siddiqui being as young as he is, 19 years old, you know, training at a place like Team Alpha Male, you're going to get some of the best grappling training you could really ask for in mixed martial arts. And we're seeing he seems to be a very mature fighter.
Yes, certainly. You know, he's a self-proclaimed wrestler and boxer, but I spoke a little bit to Isaac Thompson yesterday, and he says that he's been competing in Muay Thai. He's very well-rounded and young and hungry. And you see, you know, young prospect Isaac Thompson just fresh off of his LFA main event win in his corner, you know, lighting a fire under him, ready to get out for this third round. And yeah, I'm really impressed with the pace from both of these guys here. You know, like I said, arguably Siddiqui is up on the judges' scorecards, but Metike, you know, definitely did not give up. No fade in him, and I'm sure he's going to come out looking to put a stamp on this third round after what was a much closer second. And
Heya is undefeated for a reason, coming in 2-0, obviously more experience, and with the range he has, certainly has knockout ability. He might need it in this third round.
And you got to think that Siddiqui's going to be coming out with much of the same game plan. You know, he's clearly got the advantage in the wrestling and grappling department.
Thus far, he's just been a little bit quicker. Case in point right there.
Head kick seemingly lands as Siddiqui looks to level change, but able to end up on top in the guard. He is in the triangle, though. Beautiful job from Metike on that timing. He has that triangle locked in.
And with his range, this could be very difficult.
Starting to get the angle is Metike. He might have this. Very short rounds, but the corner team are screaming for him to posture up here. And this triangle is in. Referee taking a very close look.
If you are Siddiqui, what is the strategy here? Is he trying to essentially arch up?
Yeah, I mean, to really simplify it, triangle, we want to posture, armbar, we want to stack, but Metike doing a great job of controlling the posture of Siddiqui here and potentially looking to attack the arm also. I think Siddiqui may have, no, he's still in that triangle. And that arm is almost fully extended also.
The question is, if you are Heya, do you continue?
I think that armbar might be that look close to a tap, but definitely look to think about it was Siddiqui.
Heya's mindset has to be finish here, but he's running out of time in the third round.
Yeah, definitely. This is a difficult position. The arm looks to be extended of Siddiqui, but he is, oh, and there's the tap!
Wow! What an incredible turnaround in the third round by Heya Metike.
Beautiful testament to his resilience for Metike, you know, down on the judges' scorecards, arguably, and immediately throwing up that submission in the third to make sure it doesn't go to the judges. Phenomenal from both guys.
And in the beginning of the third round, it was really Metike that took a risk. Iqbal made him pay, but to Metike's credit, almost immediately when he landed on his back, he was able to get in the triangle position. He never let go.
Yeah, definitely. He did a great job of mixing ending up also not staying, not staying on that triangle and insisting on it. He adjusted, he realized he didn't have it, and he attacked the arm, which secured him the finish here tonight. Officially.
Now, we didn't have a clock on the screen, so I don't know how much time was actually left in the third round. It was certainly less than a minute, but what an inventive way to get the submission for Heya Matiki, remaining undefeated. Learning experience, certainly, for both young fighters.
Definitely, and that's what this amateur ranks are for, you know. This is the learning phase, for lack of better words, and I'm sure Sadiki's going to go away. He's got phenomenal coaches in his corner right now with Team Alpha Male's Isaac Thompson and Trent Ebop, and I'm sure they're going to go away and they're going to make the changes needed to make sure this doesn't happen again.
And when you're facing someone with the length of Heya Matiki, the triangle's always going to be a threat, and unfortunately for Sadiki, he was caught in that third round. As both fighters are getting their gloves off, and Gerrit Fertig certainly ready for the official announcement. What a way to kick off the prelims tonight. You're going to see a plethora of very hungry and motivated fighters working their way up to the professional ranks. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube. It's always a great time to broadcast for all you watching. And if you do have UFC Fight Pass, make a whole night of it and join us at 7 p.m. Pacific. Heya is ready to have his hand raised.
I gotta work on my hands a little bit, bro. I ain't getting no warm-up. It's just 5 p.m. I ain't getting no warm-up, man.
And now for the official announcement.
The TP choke brings on the tap. Official time, 1 minute, 33 seconds of the third and final round. Declaring your winner by submission, Heya Matiki.
Congratulations to Heya Matiki, remaining undefeated. It truly has been a tremendous 2025 for him, making his amateur debut just 8 months ago in March. And he's already 3-0, and you'd have to imagine we will see him on an A1 card again in the very near future.
Certainly. What a way to kick off our amateur prelims. I think we had a card not so long ago where we had an entire undercard of finishes, and what a way to set the tone here tonight.
Not going to be easy to follow. Heya Matiki with a TP choke finish in the third round over Iqbal Sadiki. And now we should just be moments away from our next fight. All right, we have a replay of the action from this opening bout here on the prelims. And, you know, for the first 2 rounds, it really was all Sadiki, but Iqbal told us he was very confident in his grappling coming in, and that proved to be the reason he scored the victory as he walks away 3-0.
Yeah, beautiful job from Matiki. You know, Sadiki able to secure that takedown, but immediately puts himself into this triangle position. And not only was Matiki staying relentless on the submission, but he was also landing significant shots within this position and staying completely active. So very impressive performance from both young men very early in their amateur careers.
And he stayed very patient in the third round while time was running out as he has his hand raised. Back to Gerrit Fertig.
Set to make her way, Stacy Moran.
What Juicy say?
Walking tonight with an overall record of 4-4 in this 120-pound catchweight bout is El Nino Training Academy Stacy Moran. She certainly has plenty of cage time over her 8 fights, because thus far every single fight she has gone the distance, having already been a strawweight champion for 559 fights. Definitely has the experience advantage tonight, although this is only her 3rd fight since May of 2023, which does include a kickboxing bout. So 8 amateur fights, but she's had a lot of time off over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see what changes she has made with her team before she steps in here tonight. She has a very forward pressure, you know, aggressive style from that Muay Thai background, and I'm really excited to see her tonight against Callie Swarthout, who we last saw here at A1 back in May when she had a scrap against Sabrina Kuna. So I'm sure that it's going to be a very high-paced bout from these ladies.
And this is a true test for Stacey Moran, because at some point, you'd have to imagine she does want to step up to the professional ranks, and with this only being her third fight in well over 2 years, you know, the clock does tick at some point, and so hopefully tonight she can get the performance she's looking for as we await her opponent.
And now we welcome Callie Swarthout.
A strong ovation for this standalone MMA product. Definitely no shortage of motivation for Callie Swarthout, who made her amateur debut back in April, while fighting again only a month later in the A1 Prospect Series. Unfortunately, she came up short via decision on both occasions, but she told us, Corey, that over the past 5 months, she's truly gotten ready for her first victory. And, you know, when you're early on in your career, you can make leaps and bounds in your progress.
Yeah, definitely. As we mentioned previously, this amateur stage is a great opportunity for athletes to grow and develop. And, you know, she's coming off that unanimous decision loss at A1 back in May, but she was against a highly talented prospect in Sabrina Kuna, and that was a back-and-forth scrap, and both ladies look absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see her in here tonight against the very experienced Stacey Moran.
We have seen very precise striking from Swarthout over her 2 fights, and as I mentioned, she's from Standalone MMA, one of the many fighters we will see tonight from Standalone, as well as AKA, obviously Team Alpha Male, so many incredible gyms representing so many phenomenal fighters. But Muay Thai is the bread and butter of Callie Swarthout, but she's really been focusing heavy on the grappling at Standalone for the past year. So let's see if she's able to put it all together. 2 women who feel like they both have a lot to prove to themselves in this 120-pound catchweight bout. Back to Garrett Fertig.
We keep the prelims moving now with a contract weight bout at 120 pounds. Set for 3 2-minute rounds presented by Graphic Nature Custom Design Services and Printing. We now introduce you first the Punch Edibles blue corner. She stands 5'3", 121 1/4 pounds. Entering the cage tonight with an amateur record even, 4 wins, 4 losses. Fighting out of El Nino Training Center from Hayward, California. She fights out of San Francisco, California, Stacey Moran. And now we introduce her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner at 5'6", weighing in at 118 3/4 pounds, returning to A1 combat, 0-2 early as an amateur, a member of Standalone MMA from Chico, California, Callie Swarthout. Your referee, David Shirley.
David Shirley drawing his first assignment for the night, and obviously Stacey Moran also representing the scrap pack. Three rounds, 2 minutes each. Once again, both fighters do not have 3 fights under their belts in the case of Swarthout, so we have 3 2-minute rounds here with the shin guards.
Really interesting bout here for our second fight of the night, Johnny. Like I said, both based in Muay Thai, but as you mentioned, Swarthout really closing the gap on that grappling, and in her last match going against national wrestling champion Sabrina Kuna, so definitely had to work on her grappling for that one. I'm wondering if she can implement it here tonight against the much more experienced Stacey Moran.
And in a fight like that for Swarthout, I mean, talk about a learning experience. You could gain a lot more in a fight like that, and you know, Swarthout appears to be a bit quicker early on here.
Yeah, Swarthout definitely coming out, using her footwork, using her head movement in and out, as opposed to the very traditional Muay Thai style of Stacey Moran as she pressures and walks down Callie Swarthout. Swarthout needs to be careful, though, as she jumps in on those exchanges, because she is getting tagged on the counter strikes by Stacey Moran.
She did expect to be the more aggressive of the two, and there a right hand finds a home there. Once again, we don't see a clock.
Stacey Swarthout now has Moran up to the cage. Heavy knees in this position from the clinch, looking to wear down Moran a little bit and maybe see a little bit of that wrestling and grappling that we previously touched on.
Nice knee by Moran, follows up again.
Beautiful knees from both girls, and Swarthout doing a great job of breaking dirty, striking as they disengage, and immediately back to moving.
Nice right hand out of the clinch as well by Swarthout. Seconds left here in the first round.
Swarthout, as you mentioned, seemingly with the speed advantage, but Moran's doing a great job of tagging her with those counter strikes, as when she jumps in, her chin is sky high. She needs to be careful she doesn't get tagged, but heavy blows from Swarthout, and Moran is the one to change levels and get in on the takedown.
Strong way to end the first round for Stacey Moran, who trains under Gilbert Melendez at El Nino. Currently a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Definitely competitive first round, although that is quite the welts over the right eye of Stacey Moran.
Yes, certainly. I think that popped up in that last exchange.
Right hand,
definitely, yes, unleashing a little bit there.
Could have been the right hand out of the clinch there towards the end, but difficult to really know.
Yeah, definitely. Just to touch a little bit more on the rule set, amateurs, so those knees to the body were definitely adding up. Not able to knee to the head because we're not yet in the professional ranks, like with elbows, shin pads, and 2-minute time due to Swarthout being under that 3-fight threshold for the commission.
And the prelims, we have a great variety of fights for you tonight. 4 of the fights will be 2-minute rounds, and then the final 4 will be 3 3-minute rounds, with the final 3 fights being title fights. A lot of 3s tonight.
Mouthpiece perfect. All right, ladies, round 2.
Round 2 underway.
So round 1 ended with Moran changing her levels and looking to engage in the wrestling a little bit. I'll be curious to see if that's something she's looking to implement a little bit more in this second round, as Swarthout is doing a great job of using her footwork and her head movement to just rack up the points with the judges for significant strikes.
Moran says that she certainly feels like she has the better ground game, although Swarthout's been focusing heavy at standalone on grappling, but no doubt she would like to keep this fight vertical if the first round was any indication.
As we spoke on it, Moran looking to try to engage in the body lock position, but Swarthout immediately able to take control and break, get back to her striking. She's having a lot of success with her hands, is Swarthout. She's kind of trying to mix the kicks in a little bit to keep Moran guessing, and in on the double leg is Swarthout, gets the finish with 1 minute left on the clock, Johnny.
Fantastic level change there by Swarthout, and charged all the way across the cage and stuck with it, and successful single leg.
Great job from Swarthout. She has Moran's head against the cage and her hips controlled here. It's going to be really hard for Moran to get her hips back to the cage and start to work up, which we see Moran attempting to do here.
Swarthout staying very active, though. It appears that perhaps she's trying to, well, it looked like she was trying to move into side control, but right now still in full guard.
Yeah, this is a great position for Swarthout. You know, she has Moran's head against the cage. She's able to block those submission attempts of Moran that's getting thrown up, and she's controlling the hips, able to land damage. She doesn't really need to rush this pass here.
Nope. It appeared for a second Moran was trying to lock in that left arm of Swarthout, but to no avail.
She's doing a great job here with the head pressure, too. If you notice, she's right under the chin of Moran, making this position uncomfortable. Doing a great job respecting that high guard from Moran. And you got to argue that Swarthout has got to be 2 rounds up now as we enter into this last 10 seconds.
And that'll do it for the second round, and have to agree with you there, Corey, that Swarthout, that level change about halfway through the second round, she remained in control for the rest.
Yeah, she did a great job of controlling Moran. I think we're about to get a replay here. Scrappy punches, mixing in that leg kick to disguise her hands is Swarthout, and that's great. That keeps Moran guessing, and she's able here to change the levels, get in on the leg, and she runs her all the way back to the cage to secure that takedown. She
didn't get very low on that takedown, but she had enough of a bull rush to where she was finally able to get Moran down.
Yeah, and you got to think, I think that definitely secures that second round. I think arguably we could give her the first. So coming out in this third, you got to think that the Moran corner has got to be lighting a fire under her a little bit to go out and take it out of the judges' hands.
Very similar to our opening bout tonight. Hey Amateke essentially was down 2 rounds to 0, at least by our indications, and
Mouthpiece, mouthpiece.
was able to lock in a very inventive TP choke to score the victory in the closing seconds of the 3rd round. Let's see what Stacey Moran has. Good start there by Swarthout.
Heavy check hook lands from Moran, though, as Swarthout lunges in. And she's got to be careful with that chin up so high. She's doing a great job landing heavy blows, but she does have to be careful she does not get tagged because Moran has some heat behind those shots.
It's a nice combination there by Swarthout, but she ends up on her back foot after she throws her final strike.
Yeah, Moran looking now to secure a takedown of her own in on that body lock. And one thing she's not doing that Swarthout was is that head positioning that I touched on, and that enabled Swarthout to reverse Moran in this position and put her onto the cage.
Very active cage work here by both women. Oh, nice combination.
Knees that we saw in the 1st round. Breaks dirty, back in on her range. Swarthout's doing a great job of dictating where this fight goes here.
She's really good out of the clinch, too. That's the 2nd time now she's able to land a strike when they disengage. And you're right, Corey. She's really dictating the pace here in this 3rd round. High volume. Oh, nice right hand.
1 minute left to go in the 3rd round. I think Moran's definitely going to have to press some urgency here. One thing to note also is Swarthout is not just throwing one shot. You know, she lands one, she throws 2, 3 behind it, and that's going to add up in terms of significant strikes should we see the judges' scorecards.
Swarthout likes to throw the right kick as she follows up with an overhand right. She's done that a number of times so far.
Walking forward is Moran. No respect for Swarthout's shots as she tries to walk through them to land some heavy blows of her own. But we have 25 seconds left on the scorecard. Beautiful body kick from Swarthout.
Nice jab by Moran. This is a 3rd round where both women are absolutely going for it, not wanting it to go to the judges. Nice combination. Good flurry there by Swarthout, but a jab lands for Moran in the closing seconds.
Potentially looking to change the levels there again was Moran, but Swarthout again able to dictate where that fight goes. And you've got to think she is up 3 there, Johnny.
That 3rd round was very competitive, though, but you are correct. I would say, you know, you're the fighter. You definitely saw Swarthout landing more shots overall. If we're going by signs of damage, you'd probably also have to lean a little more towards Swarthout as well.
A great job from both of these ladies. I mean, what a pace to push. With only 2 minutes in these rounds, there's no time to waste, no filling out process, and both ladies got straight to the action here.
They absolutely did, as Moran coming in 4-4 in her amateur career, and now for the 9th time, every single fight she has gone the distance, whereas Swarthout came in very motivated to score her first victory in her career. Let's check out the closing moments of that 3rd round.
Both of these girls swinging in the last few moments of this round, trying to secure that win with the judges. And both of these girls had great shining moments within the clinch. You know, those knees were absolutely beautiful. Just imagine what they're going to be capable of once they hit those pro ranks and they're able to land those to the head.
As we await the scorecards from the judges, once again, we have 3 title fights on the prelims. The A1 Combat lightweight title. And then in the co-main event, the A1 Combat bantamweight. And in the main, the A1 Combat welterweight title. All 3 titles currently vacant in the amateur division. And they will all have new homes after tonight. Once again, one of the most exciting prelim cards that we've had for quite some time, as it all leads up to A1 Combat 32, live on Fight Pass at 7 p.m. Pacific. Boy, the judges are really mulling it over here.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, a very excited Kelly Swarthout as we presumably await her first amateur victory here tonight.
Garrett Furtick has the scores. Let's go to him right now.
After 3 rounds, we go to the judges at kingside for the decision. Your first judge, Daniel Mobley, sees it 29-28, while judges Wayne Phillips and Wade Vera both see it 30-27. All for your winner by unanimous decision, Kelly Swarthout.
Congratulations. Congratulations to Callie Swarthout, her first victory. That record is incorrect. She's certainly not 1-8. She now moves to 1-2. Tremendous performance tonight in front of a large number of fans.
Yeah, she looked absolutely great in there, Johnny, and a testament to the work that she's been putting in. As we mentioned, this young lady has been testing herself against some of the best amateurs on the scene, and tonight was no different with Stacey Moran.
Let's check out the highlights from this 120-pound catchweight bout between Stacey Moran and the victorious Callie Swarthout. It really was Swarthout essentially controlling the pace throughout the fight. She definitely had a higher volume of strikes, and Moran was never really able to get into her rhythm.
Yeah, Swarthout really pushing the pace here tonight, staying active, dictating the distance, and just landing combo after combo. But Moran also a phenomenal job. You know, she stayed in the fight the entire time, but Swarthout just able to push the pace tonight.
Well, Swarthout setting the pace for many standalone MMA fighters on the card tonight as she walks away victorious. Back to Garrett Furtick.
Making his A1 combat debut, Leo Gales.
Coming in on a 2-fight win streak with 2 first-round knockouts is the Nick Diaz Academy product, Leo Gales. He's definitely shown to have very crisp striking, high-level jiu-jitsu over the course of his 3 amateur fights. Thus far, his only fight of the year ended in a first-round knockout. So Corey Gales certainly looking to continue that momentum in this featherweight bout.
Yeah, certainly with 1 submission and 1 TKO. You know, I'd be interested to see if he can come in here and finish his, continue his finishing streak here tonight. The long-rangey southpaw, he's primarily a striker, and very technical, but as we mentioned, with a submission win, you got to think that he's very capable on the ground here tonight, and a tough test for Torfikala Omari.
And training at the Diaz Academy, there's no doubt that he's training with some of the very best. And things got very chippy at weigh-ins between Gales and his opponent. So this is another very intriguing element to the prelims.
Yeah, that seems very consistent with Omari's fights. You know, we had a little bit of chippiness when we saw him back in his amateur debut, and I think that's kind of the energy he brings here tonight. Both of these guys want to get in there, push the pace, and make a statement, and that's just what we love to see.
Leo Gales makes his entrance into the A1 cage, looking to move to 3-1. Back to Garrett Furtick.
And now, Torfikala Omari.
Torfikala Omari won his first fight in August back at A129, and tonight he looks to continue that momentum. And you know, he has quite a story. He documented his journey from Afghanistan, ended up gaining quite a popularity on TikTok, and he remains hyper focused. He was thrilled to take that first step with his victory 3 months ago, but he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He wants to provide for his family. He realizes he has to take it 1 fight at a time. And when it comes to fighting in the amateur square, it's really difficult to know when you're ready for the professional ranks. But he knows he has quite a ways to go, but a victory tonight is certainly important.
Yeah, it's a great mindset to have, Johnny, and you can tell coming in here that, you know, he's very locked in, he takes this very serious. As we mentioned, the chippiness at the weigh-ins a little bit, that just comes to him bringing that heat, bringing that intensity. And this is an aggressive brawler who always looks to finish his fights.
He's a very, very intense young man, and as you mentioned, it's always an adventure at weigh-ins when it comes to Omari and his crew. 24 years of age is Omari, 1-1 overall. And there's no doubt any fight of Omari is going to be exciting. He's certainly aggressive. Torfikala Omari entering the A1 cage once again. In this featherweight bout, once again, it'll be 3 rounds, 2-minute rounds with shin guards. As Gales has 3 fights to his record and Omari has 2. And let's go to Garrett Furtick.
The Prelims move down to the featherweight division, scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds, brought to you by Sign Art Factory. We introduce to you first the Punch Edibles blue corner, standing 5'10", weighing 143 3/4 pounds, with an amateur record of 3 wins, 2 coming in the first round and 1 defeat. Out of Nate Diaz Academy from Stockton, California, please welcome Leo Major Gales. And now introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. He stands 5'7", weighing in at 145 3/4 pounds, 1-1 as an amateur, a warrior out of Legend Boxing, fighting out of Sacramento, California, Tafigula Hapalvan Omari. The referee, Brian Tyler.
Sergio, good. Mouthpiece.
Brian Tyler back for our 3rd fight of the prelims.
Back for me. All right, gentlemen, round 1. Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready? Let's fight.
I have a feeling we are not going to have a very idle fight between these two. Case in point.
Straight off the bat with the heavy blows for both Gales and Omari. Gales doing a great job of dictating the cage space here a little bit, taking center, pushing Omari back up towards the cage. Curious to see if he's going to engage in the grappling here tonight, with Omari's only loss coming by sub and those heavy blows on the Omari side that are landing.
Gales took a chance there. Omari made him pay. Gales definitely with the reach advantage here. Omari throws with a lot of force.
Yes, certainly. Gales with the reach advantage, able to land those strikes on the disengage. But both of these guys are landing some heavy offense here. Oh,
wow.
Right hand tags for Omari.
Both fighters with a very high volume here as expected. And once again, it's the 2nd time now that Omari has been able to catch Gales.
Gales needs to be careful with those kicks. Omari's been able to catch those kicks about 3 times now, and he's landing heavy blows and staying on Gales off of those catch.
Ooh, beautiful low kick there by Omari. And now the right hand. Oh, wait a second. Gales returns with a powerful strike.
Misses on the follow-up, and Omari able to potentially recover and get in on the takedown of his own.
This has been a live wire 90 seconds in this first round, and I'm not quite sure what the stoppage is here.
I missed that.
He grabbed the fence multiple
The official,
times
I mean,
okay? He grabbed the fence again.
Brian Tyler's talking to Leo Gales
it?
about something.
All right.
I don't know what it is.
All right.
And now he's going to talk to Omari.
Grab the fence. I'm not going to take a point from him.
Perhaps
I'm
a
gonna
cage
restart you
grab?
guys
I'm not
over
really
here.
sure.
Fighter, I'm going to have you come back over here. I'm going to have you over here. Come over here, fighter.
Okay.
Looking
right.
to reset both guys in the
Up against
position
the
that they
fence. I'm gonna
broke.
give you the body lock back.
Not 100% sure what actually happened there.
said go, we're gonna
maybe
start.
fence grabs, as we mentioned.
Go.
Couldn't quite see. They were behind the post from our vantage. But giving Omari back into that takedown position.
Now Gales switching stances here. Left hand finds a home there.
And you got to think that potentially benefited Omari a little bit, Johnny. You know, a little bit of time to recover.
He's really taken a lot of risks with those kicks, and Omari continues to catch him on it.
With less than 10 seconds left of the bell, Omari is landing some heavy ground and pound on Gales.
You know, we expected an exciting first round, and I believe it surpassed even our expectations. Between Leo Gales and Tafigula Omari, that was tremendous.
Yeah, we said a pace was going to be pushed here tonight, and like you mentioned, they exceeded that. I think we're going to grab some replays in here.
We might as well replay the entire first round because there were no dull moments. Nice left hand there by Omari, and, you know, Leo Gales certainly has the length advantage.
And there's that kick we discussed on the Gales side. Potential risk as Omari does continuously grab it and land heavy blows and secure takedowns off of it. You got to think the Gales perhaps wants to stop throwing those as we come out into the second round. And I would not want to be a judge in this situation, Johnny. Fortunately, I do not think we're going to need the judges here tonight if we continue for round 2 and 3.
Even though we only have 2-minute rounds, these two are absolutely out to decimate each other here.
Yeah, and we just saw that knockdown of Gales to Omari. absolutely phenomenal recovery from the Omari side.
Now, if you are Gales,
Take a step back.
do you want to get away
Step over.
from those range-finding kicks? Because
All right, gentlemen,
Omari's
round
having
three, let's
a
fight.
rather easy time catching them.
Yeah, definitely. I think Gales is having a lot of success with his hands, and Omari is using those kicks as his way to get into range. So I think stopping on those kicks would help. But that's a heavy right hand lance from Omari, and he's just swinging for the fences here.
They both are, really. Nice uppercut there by Gales, but Omari follows right back.
And Omari's got to be careful because the counter strikes are what tagged him last time, and he's getting tagged up here as he presses forward on Gales. But he is landing some heavy blows also.
Omari is absolutely fearless. Okay.
What?
I don't know.
Mouth guard fell out for Omari. Absolutely phenomenal for both sides here. Great job from the referee for being able to, keep both of these fighters safe within these exchanges.
Is it safe to say Omari is essentially making Gales fight his kind of fight? Omari likes to brawl, and that's really what this is.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at a brawl here tonight, but Gales is doing a great job of tagging Omari from a distance. I'd like to see him use his footwork a little bit more to perhaps stay out of the range of Omari, who's landing heavy blows as he dips in there.
Only halfway through the second round here, an exhausting pace by both men.
Omari now definitely gaining in confidence as he walks down Gales. And beautiful sprawl on that takedown attempt of Gales.
Oh, Gales is starting to look tired.
Yeah, as you mentioned, definitely fading is Gales. And
a left hand finds a home. This could be the beginning of the end. Gales is down, and that will do it. Tofigula Omari.
what a fight. What a way to set the card. Third fight of the night. Wow.
With an absolute barrage throughout 2 rounds. It was a war of attrition. And Omari remains standing at the end.
On the walkout, we mentioned Tofigula Omari is a very aggressive brawler who's always looking to finish, and he was able to execute that plan here tonight.
And Omari was not afraid to get hit. There were so many moments he would charge in, leaving himself wide open, but he was that confident in his own striking ability.
Yeah, definitely. Had us all on the edges of our seat. I didn't know who was going to come out the victor here tonight. Both guys had some tremendous shining moments within these 2 rounds.
They really did, but Tofigula Omari kind of drew Leo Gales into fighting his kind of fight. And when it gets wild, it's going to lean towards Omari, and that's what happened.
Yes, certainly. Omari did a great job of, as you mentioned, drawing Gales into that brawl. But wow, what a phenomenal performance from both of these guys here. And third fight on the card for amateurs, you know what I mean? Wow, what a job from the A1 matchmakers.
And Gales appears to be okay. Is obviously disappointed with the result, but at least he's looking alert enough right now as we are ready to go to Garrett Fertig for the official announcements. And let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Brian Tyler steps in and waves off the contest. Official time, 1 minute, 21 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Tofigula Omari.
Huge moment for Tofigula Omari. Now with his second victory in a row. Got his first victory back in August at A129, and now he walks away on his team's shoulders tonight at A132.
Yeah, as you mentioned, phenomenal job from the A1 matchmakers here tonight. They're going to have a challenge ahead of themselves, though, trying to match this guy on future cards because, as we said, what a brawl.
He is a very, very dangerous individual and very unpredictable to prepare for. That is certainly an understatement. Let's check out the multitude of highlights from our third prelim bout of the night between Leo Gales and Tofigula Omari. Gales came in 2-1 overall, and Omari was looking for his second win, and that second win certainly is what he walked away with. And right there, that was a moment where it looked like Gales was about to finish Omari, but once again, Omari almost seemed impervious to getting hit.
Yeah, beautiful composure from Omari. You know, many lesser fighters would have found a way out there. That was a heavy blow from the Gales corner, and had those follow-up strikes landed, you never know, the referee may have called it there, but able to recover was Omari and secure the finish within that second round. But phenomenal back and forth fight from both these guys.
Well, both fighters certainly have bright futures. Two very, very skilled featherweights on display tonight as Tofikulo Omari walks away 2-1 as we inch closer to our first of 3 title fights. Back to Garrett Fertig.
Returning to A1 Combat, please welcome Arbaz Ahmed.
Making his 3rd trip to the A1 cage with an overall record of 3-2 is Arbaz Ahmed. He moved to the U.S. from Hyderabad, India just 2 years ago after winning a Muay Thai national championship, and he moved here specifically to train at AKA San Jose, and that is where he spends most of his time. As his amateur record tonight is 3-2, but his Muay Thai record is 24-3. So he made a point to say, yes, I have 32 fights under my belt already. So definitely one of the more experienced combatants we will see tonight in the prelims.
Yes, certainly. And coming off of, he's coming off of a loss to undefeated prospect Trey Banda at A1 back in August. So already testing himself in here against some of the best amateurs within the regional scene. And you've got to think that he's going to be looking to make a statement in his rebound after breaking that 3-fight win streak that he was on. And this is a man that coming in here, whether win or loss, he is yet to see the judges. So after that last fight, you got to think he's going to be looking to step it up and smash that tone and get another finish.
And he likes a heavy schedule. He said when he was living in India, sometimes he would compete multiple times in a day in certain events, depending on what it was. Obviously more so with Muay Thai. But he believes he's in the best conditioning of his life. And he says he's absolutely consumed with mixed martial arts. He has no second thoughts about moving away from home and now making his home at AKA. As Arbaz Ahmed is ready for action, let's go back to Garrett.
And now, ready to walk the aisle, Austin Emberson.
Standalone MMA represented once again. Strong ovation for this young man walking to the A1 cage tonight at 1-1 overall, Austin Emberson. Both of his previous A1 fights were in the Prospect Series and then for Combat University at Sac State, Corey, which I know you were a big part of, and he continues to jump at every opportunity. He's the kind of fighter, he says, I always want to push forward. I have to be relentless with pressure, and obviously with 2-minute rounds, that's a great mindset.
Yeah, coming in here off of a unanimous decision win at Battle of the Hive back in September, you got to think his confidence is on the up right now. And Emberson is a heavy puncher with a very aggressive style, and I'm super excited to see how that matches up against the Muay Thai style of Arbaz Ahmed here tonight.
They certainly have a striking display to follow after that fight between Omari and Gales. But Ahmed and Emberson certainly appear to be up to the challenge, as this will be once again our final fight of the night with 2-minute rounds between these two bantamweights. Once again, shin guards, as Emberson now his 3rd official fight as an amateur. Still to come, 3 title fights on the prelims, and make sure you're joining us on UFC Fight Pass. Tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific. Main event, Ethan Ewing and Billy Brand for the vacant A1 Combat Bantamweight title. Of course, in the co-main event, Joy Pandel looks to defend her featherweight title against a woman who defeated her just over a year ago, Zarina Touré. Austin Emberson in the cage. Let's go to Garrett Fertig.
We head back to the bantamweight division, set for 3 2-minute rounds. Tonight's show is produced by Tom Anderson Presents. Now we introduce first the Punch Edibles blue corner at 5'7", 135 3/4 pounds, with an amateur record of 3 wins, 2 losses, with 2 victories coming by submission, both in the first round. Built and trained at AKA from Hyderabad, India, he fights out of San Jose, California, Arbaz Ahmed. And now introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. Also standing 5'7", he weighed 134 1/2 pounds, holding an amateur record of 1 win, 1 loss, backed by standalone MMA from Gridley, California. Please welcome Austin Amberson. Your referee, David Shirley.
David Shirley back for the second time tonight, and he will certainly have a very busy night ahead.
Doctor. You ready? You ready?
Arbaz Ahmed in the dark orange and Austin Amberson in the neon orange. We're underway. 2-minute rounds in this bantamweight bout.
Austin Amberson immediately coming out, controlling the center, pushing back.
That's his style.
Arbaz Ahmed looking to be the second standalone fighter to secure a win here tonight of many.
You know, Ahmed made the mistake. He went in with an overhand right, and Amberson took full advantage and already lands in full side control.
Yeah, Ahmed looking to potentially secure a throw of his own, but reversed by Amberson. And in on this front headlock position is Amberson. And
wow.
Beautiful job breaking dirty there as Ahmed was able to get back up to his feet.
Strong right hand lands by Amberson.
Amberson doing a great job of controlling these positions here. He has that underhook. He's pressing Ahmed up to the cage. And every time Ahmed goes to reverse him, he's immediately reversed again by Amberson, as we just saw in that takedown exchange.
Yeah, tremendous grappling here early on. Takedown now by Ahmed into about a half guard there.
Yep, takedown secured for Ahmed. Amberson has his head against the cage, looking to potentially go back to full guard. Interesting decision, but hip escaping up. And beautiful job from
Ahmed. Great transition to the back here, trying to lock in the rear naked choke. Less than a minute to go in the first round, but it might be plenty of time. He's arching the back. Oh, he had to switch hands there.
Yeah, over the chin was Ahmed. Does not mean you can't secure it, but now it's under, and that may be it as we enter the last 30 seconds of our first round.
You said it, Corey. He was able to transition to the right hand, and 30 seconds might be too long for Amberson to survive. He's trying to maintain.
What composure from Amberson here, not panicking at all. That rear naked choke was all the way under the chin.
All right, well, I believe the clock was a little bit behind. So Amberson, well, saved by the 2-minute bell there. Let's check out the highlights here. Beautiful takedown there by Amberson early on.
Yeah, beautiful reversal on that toss attempt of Ahmed, but able to get the leg reap was Ahmed here later in the round, securing that top position for that half butterfly and immediately transitioning to the back.
And this was absolutely beautiful here by Arbaz. And for Amberson to survive that rear naked, that was impressive. It really looked like he had that fully locked in.
Yeah, definitely. Really impressed by the composure of Amberson in there. A lot of people would have, panicked a little bit. The choke was under the neck, but he stayed calm, fought the hands as he's supposed to, and like you mentioned, was able to see it out to the last bell.
Well, much like last fight, we got 2 finishers in there. And that first round was very exciting. We're about to be underway round 2. No doubt these 2 bantamweights will be closely watching our main event on the main card.
And we talked about the striking style of both of these guys coming out here tonight. It seems a little bit like they're negating one another as we're seeing some phenomenal grappling striking. Oh, almost a slip from Ahmed.
And Amberson peppers him with a 1-2. Oh, and again he continues.
Ahmed seemingly hurt as Amberson makes the decision to come around to the back. Lift attempt on the suplex, but Ahmed able to get his footing back. And you got got to wonder if Amberson should have stayed on those strikes here. Ahmed seemed a little bit out on the feet.
Well, that was the second time where Arabaz went in with a powerful right hand, and Amberson made him pay.
Immediately stressing urgency as both of these guys as they come out in the second round. Ahmed able to once again reverse Amberson against the cage, choosing to break and take back center position.
Nice leg kick there by Arabaz.
And on the body lock immediately for Amberson.
Beautiful takedown, immediately right into side control, much like in the first round.
Really impressed with the composure of Amberson here. Seems very calm and composed for only his third amateur fight. Beautiful job here. He has almost has the leg stapled, head positioning, using this position to start landing some ground and pound. And you got to think as we enter this last 30 seconds that Ahmed's going to have to do something to change the direction of this fight. Up this round, I apologize.
And now Amberson into a full mount here. Arabaz quickly able to switch. Ooh, guillotine.
Beautiful job from Ahmed, able to build up to his knees, start working up to his feet, but Amberson able to roll potentially anaconda, but
that's what he was going for.
Slips off.
Wow, the action of this second round certainly kept up with the first.
And as in the first, we saw Ahmed on the back of Amberson. I'd just like to see Ahmed press a little bit more urgency on getting to those positions sooner in the round. But what a back and forth fight between these two.
I mean, the first round, essentially, you could say was very close with the way Arabaz almost scored the submission at the end of the first round. But this second round, we saw Amberson putting on a grappling display there. You know, almost had the guillotine, went for the anaconda at the very end, and peppering with some strikes here early on as well.
Yeah, all of these fights tonight, you know, everyone has well outperformed their experience level within this cage. And we talked a little bit about how they're sharing the cage with the professional level fighters, and I really feel like that forces them to step up a little bit, and they're really setting the tone here tonight. And like I mentioned, absolutely phenomenal composure from both of these guys, despite their less experienced records.
And they're both fighting high-level fights as amateurs. You look at Amberson, you know, fighting in the Prospect Series and then at Sac State for Combat University. You're going to gain a lot just by those fights alone. So he does come across as someone much more experienced than his third amateur fight. And we're underway, final round.
Much the same for Amberson here, coming out, controlling the center of the cage, and immediately pressing urgency on that takedown is Ahmed, but
great takedown defense there. Easily handled by Amberson.
yeah, Amberson yet again able to reverse the position and control Ahmed up against the cage. Toss attempt again from Ahmed, but Amberson's doing a great job of really controlling this position. He's got that underhook. He's using his head pressure here. And again, in on the reap, but Ahmed able to come up on top this time. Tagged on the break.
Arabaz couldn't tell if he slipped or if it was the strike that knocked him down, but now Amberson.
Yeah, looked to
modified here at guillotine, but
looked to me as though Amberson tagged Ahmed a little bit as he built back up to his feet, but choosing to engage again in the grappling is Amberson. And on the back is Ahmed. And we mentioned we wanted to see him press a little bit more urgency on getting to this position like he did in the first, and he has a minute left to work here.
And Arabaz most likely would need a finish here.
Lift attempt from Ahmed there, but unable to secure the hips of Amberson, but does get the breakdown. Beautiful knee in the clinch position there. With 30 seconds left to go, though, you got to think Ahmed's going to have to make a statement. Perhaps a round apiece coming into this round, so.
It very well could end up being a split decision here. Final 15 seconds.
Reversal again from Amberson. Lots of control in this round. Looking to secure that reap again as we enter into the last 10 seconds. Can he secure it? Yes, he does.
Strong takedown there to close out this third round by Amberson. And Certainly a great way for him to close out this fight as we are going to the scorecards.
A very technical and high-level matchup here for both of these guys, and I've said it a couple times already, but I can't believe that this is our early amateur card.
Much like the last fight with Omari and Gales, they could both walk away from that fight realizing they both did a lot of great things. Same thing here with Arbaz Ahmed and Austin Emerson. They both had some great striking ability, but especially the grappling. A rear naked choke almost brought Arbaz to victory in the first round, and then essentially it was Emerson in rounds 2 and 3 who was in control. Our final fight of the night, that will be 2 minutes. The rest of the prelim fights will all be 3-minute rounds as we await the final scores from the judges. In our lightweight title fight, it will be Joey Barthelemy taking on Brandon Arevalo. Arevalo still undefeated, looking to remain so and walk away with the gold. To follow that, the bantamweight title, German Doev and Ian Pagan. Doev coming in undefeated, 6-0. He is a very dangerous young man, and Pagan coming in 3-1, also very highly skilled. And then in the main event of the prelims, David Mistulov and Derek Cook. Mistulov undefeated thus far, and Derek Cook continues to get better, walking in at 3-1.
Tough fight for the judges to score here, Johnny, as we await their pondering.
It looks like the scores are officially in, as we will go to Garrett Fertig.
Having gone the distance, we go now to your 3 judges' scorecards for the decision. Your first judge, Wayne Phillips, sees it 29-28, Ahmed. Your second judge, Wade Vieira, 29-28, Emberson. And your third and final judge, Daniel Mobley, sees it 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Austin Emberson.
Well, the judges saw it as close as we did. Split decision win for Austin Emerson. Congratulations to him as he moves to 2-1. But still a very gritty performance by Arbaz Ahmed. And standalone MMA now 2-0 tonight. And they have a number of fighters still on the card.
Yeah, what a great matchup, Johnny. And we've had 4 fights here already, and we've got 4 left to go. So, yeah, very exciting night for the fans back home.
The action will keep rolling. We're just over an hour away from the main card as we take a look at the highlights of Austin Emerson and Arbaz Ahmed. This is a beautiful takedown here in the first round by Emerson. Emerson landed a combination here as Arbaz went in with a strong right hand.
And there's that body lock takedown of Emerson. And heading on. Beautiful job for both these guys, mixing in their striking and their grappling. A true display of full, well-rounded mixed martial arts.
Well, congratulations to Austin Emerson, moving to 2-1. Tremendous performance. Back to Garrett Fertig.
Making his way, Humbert Lee.
With a record of 3-1 overall, the Taekwondo black belt Humbert Lee makes his walk to the A1 cage, training out of AKA San Jose. Lee told us that he feels like he's making steady improvements mentally with each fight, and the more experience he gets, the more he realizes how really sticking to strategy, maintaining composure will lead him to success. And certainly planning on using his ground game tonight. 3-1 record overall, current blue belt in jiu-jitsu. And he made it very clear he has a grapple first attack, and that is going to be his plan of attack tonight. In this 140-pound catch-weight bout, 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, and coming off that loss, you know, I'm sure he's coming in here with a newfound sense of motivation, but that loss was to a top-ranked bantamweight in the state, Robbie Lopez. So #1 ranked amateur fighter within the state, and Humbert Lee has already tested himself against that level.
Speaking to him yesterday, I asked if he had a strategy. He said, yeah, if I see an opening, I'm shooting right in, and I'm going to try to take him down. Looking to give his opponent his first loss in his amateur career. Humbert Lee has entered the cage. Back to Garrett.
Set to head to the cage, Adon Godinez.
Walking to the cage is a man who has hit the ground running in his amateur career, walking tonight for his 4th time already in the past 3+ months since making his amateur debut. It's been an unblemished path thus far. The undefeated Adon Godinez, 3-0 with 2 finishes, training with Central Valley MMA and the Last Stand fight team. And he really has no interest in taking time off. He said, I want to make up for lost time. I want to be in the cage as often as possible. And this is impressive, his 4th fight already.
Yeah, definitely. You touched on the activity of Lopez. One thing I did note when looking at, you know, his profile online, he already has his next fight booked in 2 weeks, according to Tapology. So definitely looking to stay active. And coming in here with 1 TKO and 1 sub, I'm sure he's going to be looking to come out tonight, get that finish, and be ready to move on to the next.
Now, when you are fighting this frequent, what's something that you have to make sure you're staying on top of, as far as always staying in camp, you know, fighting at this high of a level, as far as, you know, this will be his 5th fight coming up in 2 weeks, in about 4 months?
Yeah, definitely. It's not something we see often within the sport of MMA. You know, we're in a sport where people, especially with the weight cuts and everything, generally fight 2-3 times a year. So very impressive for him to be able to stay at that level of preparation, to be ready to step in here so frequently.
Adon Godinez is now in the cage. Back to Garrett for a take.
We continue the prelim action with 3-minute rounds at a catchweight of 140 pounds, brought to you by Aloha Electric Sign Company. We introduce to you first the Punch Edibles blue corner, standing 5'10" and weighing in at 140 1/4 pounds, making his A1 combat debut with a record of 3 amateur wins, 1 loss, representing AKA from San Jose, California, Humbert Lee. And now introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. At 5'3", 138 1/4 pounds, returning to A1 undefeated at 3-0 with 1 win by stoppage, 1 by submission, sharpening his skills at Central Valley MMA. He fights out of Modesto, California, Adon Godinez. Referee Brian Tyler.
Dan, get off your phone, Dan. Wayne. Doc, you're good.
Brian Tyler back
Copy.
to officiate this catchweight bout.
All right, gentlemen, round 1. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
We are underway.
Our first amateur fight of the night, where we were able to take off the shin pads, and we have the full 3-minute rounds. Both of these guys with over 3 fights experience coming in here. Heavy kick immediately from the jump for Lee.
No feeling out process here. Godinez charging in. Humbert Lee takes him down.
Watch the fingers in the eyes.
We talked about the fast-paced action of those 2-minute rounds, and these guys have the extra minute, but I do not think they're going to be trying to utilize that here tonight, Johnny.
No, absolutely not. Humbert Lee now trying to transition to the back, and oh wow, very comfortable working for the back, going for the trying to grab
the arm bar is Lee. Humbert able to pull out his arm, but immediately attacking the leg for Lee. What offensive grappling here. That's amazing. Beautiful scrambles.
Godinez wild, charging in there with the strikes, and Humbert Lee able to take him right back down.
Lee enters into the half guard, immediately able to pass the open half guard of Godinez Lopez to full mount. Looking to slow the pace a little bit now. Great control. Heavy ground and pound from Lee from this position, and he has a minute and a half left to work here, Johnny. This is a brutal position for Godinez Lopez to be stuck in.
He's in a great spot, too. He's high up on the body. You see Godinez trying to arch up.
Yeah, Godinez needs to focus a little bit less on trying to tie up the arms and mitigate those strikes and getting himself out of this mounted position. I'd like to see him working for his frame, starting to hip escape. Unfortunately, you are going to have to eat a couple shots, but right now, tying up Godinez is not going to bring him much success as as Lee is landing heavy blows.
I believe they made a mistake there with the length of the round. This is 3 minutes, and I think he realizes now, yeah.
1 minute left to work for Lee. Godinez Lopez not really doing much to advance his position. Lee seemingly happy to just control here and land some pound as he looks to unleash a flurry.
And Godinez is having trouble defending himself. Still over 30 seconds for Humbert Lee to work with here. He has the back control and now transitioning perhaps into, well, trying to lock in a rear naked now.
Yeah, able to build up to his knees was Godinez Lopez, but now finds himself in the body triangle of Lee, who did a phenomenal job of following those hips and staying in control, potentially in on the neck now. I can't quite see if it's over the jaw, but
it looks like it is. He's got both hooks in. 10 seconds to go. Can Godinez survive this first round? And it appears he's going to.
Referee definitely taking a close look as we enter these final 10 seconds. That choke is deep, but looks to me as though Godinez is going to make it through to the second.
Oh, just barely.
What a high-level first round to set the tone for this fight. Beautiful scrambles and offensive grappling from the corner of Lee.
Godinez throwing heavy hands, but Humbert Lee, he talked to us about being calculated, being strategic, being patient, and that was really a testament to him in the first round. That's exactly what he was, and he took full advantage of it, especially on the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, what a perfect way to explain it, Johnny. He did a great job of controlling the mount position, and he did a good job of, we talk a lot about position over submission, and it applies also with the ground and pound, right? He did a great job of controlling Godinez before unleashing with the strikes to make sure that he did not lose that position. When Godinez started to, advance and start to escape, Lee did a great job of following the hips, riding it out, and taking the back. Beautiful grappling on display here from Lee, and I'm very curious to see what the Godinez corner has said to their athlete to make changes.
Lee has a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but certainly...
All right, guys, round 2, let's fight.
Looked like an even higher level there in the first round as we're underway here in the second. Godinez charging in once again, and wow, just target practice. Humbert Lee, though, quick level change, and now he's chasing down Godinez.
Yeah, the Godinez corner definitely lit a fire under their athlete, coming out strong and swinging, but Lee able to use that as an opportunity to close the range and get in on his takedown.
There appeared to be a quick cage grab there, but not enough to
slow down Lee as he finds himself back on the back of Godinez with the body triangle locked in. 2.5 minutes left to work here.
Godinez kicked off the round with an absolute bull rush, but once again, Humbert Lee had an answer. And case in point right now, it's ground and pound time from the back. Godinez is not defending himself, and that is going to be it. Humbert Lee, perseverance and patience leads him to victory here in the second round. What a performance by the AKA San Jose product as he moves to 4-1. Corey, he was so poised throughout these 2 rounds, whereas Godinez wanted to turn this into a brawl. He's a powerful striker. He has knockout power, but Humbert Lee was able to withstand that, especially in the second round, and then he went on the offensive.
Yeah, Lee certainly wearing some of the damage of Godinez Lopez there, but able to weather the storm and implement his game plan. He did a phenomenal job of staying composed and doing exactly what he said to you, Johnny. Cool, calm, calculated, and yeah, beautiful grappling on display here tonight from Lee.
Humbert Lee just showed such signs of being a flow fighter there. Being able to handle that chaotic start to the second round with ease, really, as he was able to get Godinez down to the ground. And the moment that happened, that was the beginning of the end, really, as he's able to get the ground and pound finish. Let's go to Garrett Fertig.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Brian Tyler steps in and waves off the contest. 51 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Humbert Lee.
An absolutely electric performance by Humbert Lee. In this 140-pound catchweight bout, he now moves to 4-1. Godinez taking his first loss as an amateur. No doubt, though, a very bright future, as this was his 4th fight in just over 3 months, and he's got another one scheduled in 2 weeks, so certainly...
Definitely looking to be in good spirits, though, is Godinez Lopez. Referee did call that, call it. He was unable to intelligently defend himself, therefore it was a good call, but fortunately, Godinez Lopez not having to wear too much damage and should be able to get himself back to winning ways soon. But much to take from both sides. Very impressed with Lee. That was a very professional performance, despite being in the amateur ranks.
Yeah, in an amateur fight, as you said, the official has to use discretion and err on the side of caution, and that was certainly a great call to finish that fight.
Yeah, and they say that in the fighters' meeting. They say if you're not intelligently defending yourself, we will warn you, and then we will call it. At the end of the day, these guys in here, they're not making money, they're making experience, so we got to protect them.
As we check out one of the many highlights here from this victory by Humbert Lee, as he takes the W back to AKA San Jose. But it's now time for the first of our 3 title fights as we go back to Garrett Fertig.
Now making his way, Joey Bartholomew.
Let's do it. What it is. This is what it is. Another knocker. Kick this game around like soccer.
The vacant A1 Combat Amateur Lightweight title is about to have a home. Joey Bartholomew's record may be even at 8-8, but he's very open about how he started his career. He had absolutely no training. He believed that his success in street fights would lead him to success in the cage. So he took a number of losses in the beginning of his amateur career. Fortunately, he found Castro MMA, and it's been a complete 180 in the best way possible ever since. He really has earned this opportunity. Tonight is his 3rd fight in just over a month. Talk about staying active, staying proficient. Recently captured lightweight titles in both 209 Beatdown, SF Combat, and 5150. And he's on a 3-fight win streak. Corey, it's been a while for him, but it certainly appears that the potential is being realized for Joey Bartholomew.
Yeah, certainly turned things around with that 3-fight win streak. And with this being his 17th amateur fight, he's coming in here as one of our most experienced amateurs to date.
And now for his opponent.
Set to make his way, Brandon Arivello.
It's been a very strong 2025 for Brandon Arivello. Recently becoming a Camo State champion. As he's continued to make progress at Standalone MMA, he's the 3rd fighter represented by Standalone. Looking to maintain Standalone as undefeated tonight. His life truly has changed over the past 4 years after talking to him for quite some time. And he was also a backyard fighter, and then decided it was time to take his skills to the next level. He found Standalone in Chico, and now he feels like his striking continues to elevate. And Corey, he is undefeated walking in tonight, and he feels like this could be the step he needs to get that much closer to the pro ranks.
Yeah, definitely one of many Standalone fighters stepping in here tonight. As we've touched on, they're already riding a 2-fight win streak. I'm sure he's going to look to continue that here tonight for his team. And coming off of that TKO win at A1 back on August 1st, you've got to think the confidence is at an all-time high for Brandon Arivello as he enters the cage here tonight.
Both fighters are ready. Let's go to Garrett Furtick for the introduction.
Now for the first of 3 amateur title bouts here at A1 Combat 32. 3-minute rounds for the A1 Combat Amateur Lightweight Championship. Tonight's amateur championships are sanctioned by the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization. We now introduce to you first the Punch Edibles blue corner. He stands 5'6", weighing 154 3/4 pounds, a 16-fight amateur with a record of 8 wins, 8 losses, fighting out of Castro MMA from San Jose, California, Joey, the real one, Barthélemy. And now he introduces his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner at 5'9". He weighed 153 1/2 pounds, 3-0 in A1 Combat, 5-1 overall as an amateur, including 3 wins by stoppage, a product of Standalone MMA, fighting out of Chico, California. Please welcome Brandon Arivello.
Gentlemen, come here. All right, guys, we went over the rules in the back. I expect a clean, good fight. Obey my commands. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves now. Come out ready to bang.
Your referee for this championship bout, David Shirley.
David Shirley is back for this lightweight title bout.
2, 3, perfect. Ready to go? Ready to go? Handle it.
So we've just had 2 fights in a row with nonstop action, and with strikers like Arivello and Barthélemy, that excitement most likely will continue here. Nice level change there by Barthélemy and a takedown in the opening seconds.
Beautiful job from Barthélemy with changing the levels there, getting in on the leg, and he's using that leg reap to try to break down Arivello, who currently has a great base against the wall, stuffing the head of Barthélemy.
And this really speaks to the elevation of Barthélemy's game. You know, even a year ago at this time, you would not see him with a level change. You wouldn't see him shooting in. You would see him trying to throw hands.
No, certainly not with the assumptions that come with that street fighting background, but beautiful job here, in on the leg, staying relentless, looking to insist on that takedown on Arivello. And this is a 3-minute round, a lot more time to work than what we've seen earlier tonight, and our first championship bout of many. Beautiful job breaking down the base of Arivello. Now in on the legs, Arivello to his hip. He's doing a great job of stuffing that head and using the cage to help him build back up.
And a quick record check, Arivello is actually 5-1. His first amateur fight occurred just back in March of 2024, so already his 7th fight since then. And he's on a 4-fight win streak coming in tonight. Most recently, victorious back at A129, a 3rd-round knockout, which earned him this title opportunity.
Barthélemy relentless on this takedown here. Head is stuffed down below the hips of Arivello, so he's going to have a hard time finishing and controlling this position right here. I'd like to see him kind of build up to the next thing. Here we see him advancing to the body lock, perhaps. Beautiful job from Arivello, changing the angle, able to get his back off of the cage, landing a brutal knee.
And once again follows up with another knee, now a left knee to the body.
And back into the center of the cage is Arivello, which is just where you'd think he wants to be.
Some great Muay Thai there by Arivello as Barthélemy shoots back in.
Arivello's coming in very tall, and that's giving that level change to Barthélemy, which is allowing him to kind of negate the striking offense of Arivello and get him back to the cage. But beautiful job again for Arivello, getting back to that tight clinch and landing heavy knees.
What a shot! That could be the beginning of the end there. That right hand really rocked Barthélemy, who wisely is trying to take this down to the ground, but Arivello, no problem there, into the ground and pound.
Heavy ground and pound from Arivello on top there. Barthélemy did a great job of using that single leg to recover, but on that dump did give Arivello the top position when he switched his hips out. And beautiful composure from Arivello here, not rushing into that guard and choosing to stand up, which was the smart decision to make, albeit saved by the bell.
Very interesting turn of events there in that first round. Barthélemy essentially was in cage control for the majority of it, but what a turnaround, what a flurry in the final minute by Aravello.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that that would likely, due to significant strikes, swing the judges in favor of Aravello, so you got to think he's one round up as we head into the second. And just a reminder, these are three-minute rounds. We don't have those championship rounds as we are in the amateurs. Here we see that single leg head outside attempt from Barthélemy, ending up with Aravello on top, landing heavy ground and pound to close out the round though.
Both fighters coming in on win streaks. Barthélemy 3 in a row and Aravello 4 in a row. And Barthélemy feels like this is the final title he needs to win as an amateur before turning pro. So he's certainly putting a lot of pressure on himself tonight.
Boys, round 2. Handle it.
Round 2 underway. Aravello in the yellow, Barthélemy in the black and red.
Aravello immediately pressing forward, pushing Barthélemy back towards the cage. And Barthélemy straight with that level change. You got to think this is clearly the game plan here tonight, Johnny. He's very insistent on this takedown, and you got to think that means he sees some holes in the games of Aravello upon getting to the ground.
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, Aravello certainly has the range advantage, the height advantage, so Barthélemy feels like he's able to shoot in and be effective. He was for a good portion of that first round.
Yeah, and we certainly saw the damage that Aravello is able to cause from those striking exchanges. So perhaps smart from the Barthélemy side, though I would love to see him mix his striking in just to try to, you know, make these positions a little bit more dominant, perhaps open up opportunities with the takedown by using the hands to set it up. But right now, not too much action from the side of Barthélemy.
Barthélemy staying relentless here as Aravello back to his feet. Looks like Aravello's trying to lock in a Kimura difficult angle, though.
Yeah, Aravello looking to secure the Kimura on that near side, perhaps using it, not always for submission, it's a great opportunity to use it to escape, just to give Barthélemy something to think about as he stays insistent on those legs. And whilst these guys work to advance their positions, to answer a couple of questions that we have in the comments, elbows are not allowed as we are in the amateur ranks, but we are able to throw knees to the body, regardless of whether the opponent's down or not, as long as it lands to the body, that is totally fine.
Correct. And good questions. If you're watching on YouTube, we do have it in front of us. If you have any questions for Corey McKenna, fire away. Approaching the final minute of the second round, and
Crowd definitely trying to get behind their fighter, Aravello. Barthélemy seemingly content with eating up the round here in on this legs. He is controlling.
Yeah.
However, he is not landing any offense, so.
And Aravello is in no danger whatsoever. I mean, he is trying to stay active here. He keeps working on that left arm multiple times, trying to go for the Kimura. And now we have 30 seconds left. Let's see who could finish strong.
Yeah, and as mentioned, Aravello may not be landing significant damages with Barthélemy on his legs, but he's still adding up those significant strikes. Referee chose to split them, and you got to think that's got to give a message to the corner of Barthélemy that he cannot just stay in these positions.
Very nice sprawl there by Aravello.
In on the head knob now, Aravello on top, and much similar to the first round here.
Well, a very grapple-heavy round 2 comes to an end. Certainly a pivotal third round coming up, because it is not very clear as to who would have the advantage of this fight.
Yeah, definitely think we could argue in favor of Aravello being up 2, despite the control of the Barthélemy corner. He is not landing any damage, and when it comes to the judges' criteria, we're looking at whoever is attempting to finish the fight, who is landing significant strikes. Those are the priorities, and as of right now, that is Aravello, despite the control of Barthélemy.
And if you're Aravello's corner, you have to be seeing the obvious strategy of Barthélemy.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw combinations, and then he automatically level changes every time.
Yeah, exactly. And whilst that may be a smart approach
match against Aravello, who, as we mentioned, has strong striking and the range. He needs to use something to set that up, right? He's not really landing any strikes.
Yeah.
And he's got to give Aravello more things to address than just that double leg takedown.
It's been a somewhat passive 2 rounds for Aravello overall, but
Boys, round 3. Let's go.
let's see who wins the chess game here in the third and who will walk away with the amateur lightweight title.
Aravello immediately back to control in the center of the cage and walking down Barthélemy. And you've got to think that the corner of Barthélemy stressed a little bit of urgency now coming into the third. This is his first, this is our first title fight of the night.
Right.
And both these guys are going to have to come out here and show that they really earned it, you know? Oh, heavy straight from Aravello.
You hear Aravello's corner yelling that he's tired. He is marching down Barthélemy, and now a left hand finds a home, follows up with a combination, shoot in there, and a nice sprawl there by Aravello, continues with the ground and pound.
We saw Aravello on top in the first 2 rounds. Now he has 2 minutes left to work, much more than we saw previously. Stuffing the head is Aravello, not able to elbow here, as we mentioned, with the amateur rule set, but still looking to retain control and land some ground and pound of his own. Kimura's locked there. Looks as he's got it behind the back of Barthélemy.
Difficult angle, but you're right, Corey. That certainly needs to be. Oh, that's a rough position for Barthélemy to be in right now, and there's no way he's going to be able to continue. That is too much torque, too much internal rotation.
Physical therapist Johnny over here with the diagnosis, but that Kimura definitely looks in, and we got a tap.
Brandon Aravello with the Kimura locked in to bring home the A1 Combat Amateur Lightweight title. Corey, another example of patience and perseverance winning out. Brandon Aravello handled everything Joey Barthélemy threw at him throughout those first 2 rounds. But in the third round, he came out with a real purpose, and he pounced and was very patient, locked into submission.
Certainly, we were talking a little bit about the vantage point of the judges, but no need for that here tonight as Aravello goes out and he takes that title with force with a Kimura win.
Well, while we crown a new champion, I'm going to run in and get a word with the victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kimura brings on the tap. Official time, 1 minute, 32 seconds of the third and final round. Declaring your winner by submission, and now the A1 Combat Amateur Lightweight Champion, Brandon Aravello.
Congratulations, Brandon Aravello, the new A1 Combat Amateur Lightweight Champion. That really was a fight of patience and perseverance for you. You withstood everything he threw at you, the grappling throughout those first 2 rounds, but in the third round, you came out with a purpose. You locked in the Kimura. How's it feel?
It feels good. I just want to thank my coaches, because they're the ones that came up with the game plan, and I'm a really good listener, so control the wrist, and Kimura was there, so yeah. Shout out to them.
Well, you're now 6-1. You have a title. Your game is airtight. What's coming up in the future?
We don't know yet. I have to discuss that with my coach. We might be trying to take this to another level, so we'll see. We'll discuss the performance tonight, so yeah.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to that. Congratulations, Brandon Aravello, the new lightweight champion.
Brandon Aravello, A1 Combat's new lightweight amateur champion. Very happy with his performance, and rightfully so. What a way to set off our title fights for tonight. As we move on, our next fight is going to be Ian Pagan
versus German Doev. As Johnny makes his way back to the booth with me here tonight. Johnny, what a performance right there from our new champion, Brandon Aravella.
It really was such an intelligent fighter, a very bright future ahead, and let's continue with the title action. Back to Garrett Fertig.
Set now for prelim co-main event. Welcome first, Garman Doev.
One of the most highly touted fighters in the amateur ranks, former Greco-Roman world champion, I should say, Garman Doev, very high-level wrestler, already holding the Bakersfield combat title and now seeks another strap. Since arriving from Russia shortly after his AKA teammate David Mistulov, who's fighting next, he really has done everything possible to guarantee a successful career. Only 25 years old, walking tonight undefeated at 6-0. Corey, you'd have to believe a professional fight will be in his very near future.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, winning the title here tonight is going to be a huge statement for him. Undefeated, an A1 veteran with 2 submission wins. A very dominant fighter coming in here tonight out of AKA and DC's The Academy. He's a training partner of tough and LFA champion Eduardo Chapolin and newly signed UFC fighter Emmanuel Rodriguez. So he's already testing himself against the best of the best within his gym, and he's doing that here with A1 Combat. You got to think we're going to see him within the pro ranks soon.
He's been with AKA since 2022. Now you add in DC's Academy. That certainly is a lethal combination of gyms, and Garman Doev enters the cage at 6-0, ready for title action. Back to Garrett Fertig.
And his opponent, Ian Pagan.
Stepping in on 2 weeks' notice, more than ready for a title opportunity, is Reno Momentum Martial Arts' Ian Pagan. He walks to the A1 cage overall at 3-1, but on a 3-fight win streak, all 3 of those fights ending by rear naked choke submissions. Corey, we have seen him to be a very fast starter, and this guy is absolutely vicious on the ground, much like Doev, so you have to wonder, will they cancel each other out?
Yeah, definitely. We saw that earlier tonight. We talked about the striking pedigree of a couple of our athletes. And like you mentioned, we touched on the grappling expertise of Doev. But with 3 wins coming from rear naked choke, you got to think we got some great jiu-jitsu that's going to be on display here tonight. But we can potentially see them cancel out, as we have seen previously. So really excited to see the game plan coming in here for both of these guys.
Pagan, originally from Puerto Rico, recently promoted to brown belt. And he's already fought a 5-minute round fight in the past, top-notch conditioning. Ian Pagan has entered the cage. Back to Garrett Fertig.
Moving now to 3 3-minute rounds for the A1 Combat Amateur Bantamweight Championship, sponsored by Clear to Fight Medical Clearance. We introduce to you first the blue corner, standing 5'6", weighing in officially at 135 1/4 pounds, entering undefeated with 6 victories, no defeats, 2 wins coming by submission, training under AKA and DC Academy Fight Club from Russia. He fights out of Milpitas, California, Garman Doev. And now we introduce his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner. He stands 5'8", officially weighing 134 1/2 pounds, with an amateur record of 3 wins, all by rear naked choke in the first round, against just 1 defeat. Out of Momentum Reno, he fights out of Reno, Nevada, by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Pagan.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves now. Go back to your corners.
Your referee for our amateur co-main event, Brian Tyler.
Two very dangerous young fighters with vicious ground games. One of them will walk away as the new A1 Combat Amateur Bantamweight Champion. 3 3-minute rounds scheduled. Garmondoev in the black, Ian Pagan in the blue with yellow. Charging in quickly, and Garmondoev, what a takedown there.
I was going to say a heavy lead hook from Pagan, but Doev able to use that to get in on the legs, immediately securing the takedown. But in the active guard of Pagan, you got to think we're looking at wrestler versus jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And beautiful job from Pagan staying active there. Use the sweep to off-balance Doev, able to get back up to his feet, but immediately snap back down.
Garmondoev has very heavy hands as well, and like you mentioned, wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, but Garmondoev, very skilled jiu-jitsu in his own right.
Yeah, as he rolls over Pagan, looking to potentially, thought maybe setting up a Dars, but I think just trying to, yep.
What a transition to the back there.
Control immediately on the jumps the back.
Garmondoev, he's just so fluid. Every time we see him, he gets better.
Pagan able to shake Doev off, though, with that tripod, but Doev relentless with his takedown offense, stays heavy on the hips of Pagan and able to break him straight back down. In on the body triangle is Doev, and with we're not even halfway through this first round. This is a grueling position for Pagan to find himself in.
And Doev is very patient, knowing he still has half the round to work with.
Back of the head.
Pagan staying very composed here, fighting the hands. He's going 2-on-1, looking to potentially clear the choke threat. Doev doing a good job of mixing in his strikes a little bit, giving Pagan multiple things to think about. And that's going to open up this choke here, should he find it.
Doev will certainly stay very active in this position. Oh.
Referee had already warned about shots to the back of the head, perhaps deeming Doev
You kept hitting the back of the head.
hitting the back of the head again. Yep, seems so.
Okay.
Hey, look at me, look at me. You hit the back of the head like 3 times. You've got to keep everything
So
in front.
the rules are not allowed to hit the back of the head.
Right.
Can't hit the back of the head.
So that means anything behind the ears, to oversimplify it.
All right, so he hit
So
you in the back of the
Doev
head, like,
striking
3
the back of the head of
times.
Pagan.
Take away the position
Pagan
from him,
not
knock him
necessarily
Okay? You good?
too damaging of blows, but enough for the referee to want to
All right, guys, we're
issue
going to
a
start
formal
neutral.
warning.
Time in, let's fight.
And decides to reset to the feet, does the referee.
20 seconds left here in the first round, and once again, Pagan charging in. And Doev into the body lock.
Yeah, we touched on the submission offense of Pagan, but Doev so far having no respect for that game, immediately implementing his grueling wrestling offense.
Doev has gone the distance in 4 of his 6 fights, the other 2 being submission victories, 6-0.
Heavy knees to the leg from Doev here in this position, and those are gonna wear on Pagan as we move into these second and third rounds.
Get to the cage. Take the cage away. Take the cage away. Sweep that foot. Come on, sweep the foot. On his ass. Sweep the foot.
Final 10 seconds on the clackers as we move into the end of this first round. You got to think it's all Doev here.
Yeah, that'll do it in a very grapple-heavy first round, but Garmondoev puts an emphasis with a plethora of strikes to close out the first.
Yeah, certainly looking to leave no doubt in the judge's mind there in the final 10 seconds was Doev. But Pagan with some shining moments of his own, able to mitigate some of the wrestling offense of Doev, able to stay active off of his back, threatening with sweeps and submissions. But so far, round 1, all Doev.
And the strikes out of the clinch there in the closing moments of the first, that was really a perfect way for Garmondoev to end the first round.
We wondered if the grappling was going to cancel each other's out, but it seems not. We're going to be in for a very high-level grappling fight here tonight.
So that leads to my question to you. If you are Ian Pagan, what's your strategy here going in to the second round?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job of staying active off of his back, but unable really to give Doev anything too significant of a threat. I I'd like to see him utilize his striking a little bit more, not rush in so much, because that's how Doev timed that takedown. Both of those takedowns, in fact. I'd like to see him maybe try to use his range a little bit and stay away from Doev, use his footwork, and stay at that striking range just to see how he fares. But so far, Doev doing a phenomenal job of implementing his game plan and staying relentless.
I mean, he's
with
just
the wrestling offense.
He's so smothering when he gets to the ground. It's demoralizing. Beautiful sprawl there by Pagan. But Doev, undaunted.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pagan with a single leg attempt of his own, but Doev immediately on that neck, able to retain top position.
Now Doev slowly working his way into the, once again on the back.
And I love that Doev is mixing in his strikes with his grappling exchanges, using all of his offense here, giving Pagan something to think about.
Once again, he has to watch those hands. Oh my goodness!
Huge suplex from German Doev.
Dare I say a German suplex, as opposed to a German suplex.
Yeah, what? Wow. Back in on this body triangle with 2 minutes left of the round 2. This is a very grueling position for Pagan, and hats off to him also, just to mention again, he took this fight on short notice against a man that very few would probably want to fight, Johnny.
Of course, and he came in very confident. 3 first-round rear naked choke finishes coming in by Pagan. But once again, this is another rinse and repeat round for German Doev. He has back control as we approach the second half of the second round.
Pagan able to break out of the body triangle of Doev into half guard and building back up to his knees.
Pagan able to block the possible guillotine there.
Pagan's doing a great job of staying safe in these positions and mitigating the damage of Doev, but Doev is just relentless with his wrestling offense, and that's just a testament to that level, as you touched on during his walkout. Such a high-level wrestler coming into the MMA world, and we always talk about it. Wrestling is such an important aspect of MMA. At the end of the day, you dictate where the fight goes, and we're seeing that right here as he fully implements his game plan.
The high-level wrestlers tend to transition much better to mixed martial arts. German Doev certainly a great example of that, as he now, once again, now he has both hooks in, going for a rear naked choke. He's slowly moving into it, and he has it, and that'll do it! German Doev is the new A1 Combat Amateur Bantamweight Champion with a rear naked choke in the second round. Absolute domination as he remains undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal performance there from German Doev. A true testament to his level, not just as a wrestler, but as a mixed martial artist, able to secure that victory. And at 7-0, title holder, you got to think that he's going to be making that step up into the pro ranks. I'd be very surprised if not.
In the bantamweight division, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone with a better ground game right now than German Doev. He is so lethal with his quickness. He's so smooth. He's so fluid. Nothing phases him.
Yes, certainly. And as we look at some highlights here, I'd be very excited to see Doev as he step up onto that main card slot into the pro ranks here with A1 Combat.
And just look how slowly he works the rear naked choke into position. Picture-perfect technique by German Doev as he walks away with his 3rd submission victory.
Yeah, definitely experience beyond the amateur ranks. And just want to say, you know, another hats off to Ian Pagan taking this fight on short notice. German Doev is such a dominant fighter to be up against, so hats off to both guys here tonight.
I'm going to go get a quick word with the victor as Garrett Fertig is about to make the official announcement.
Yeah, boy, that's my girl. And she goes to land up in Wayne's World. And it ain't tricking, you got it. Gentlemen, let's go. But no way, you ain't got shit. Motherfucker, I'm ill, not sick. And I'm okay, but my watch sick. Yeah, my drop's sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rear naked choke brings on the tap. Official time, 2 minutes, 27 seconds of the second round. Declaring your winner by submission, and now the A1 Combat Bantamweight Champion, German Doev.
Congratulations to... All right, well, we don't have a microphone here. Germondoev, congratulations. Let me get a quick word. Your ground game is absolutely smothering. You remain undefeated. You're now 7-0. How you feeling?
I feel good, great, amazing.
Another day at the office.
What?
Another day at the office for you.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Next, I don't know. We talk about after fight with coach. I don't know, maybe A1, January, defense.
Well, you're very poised and you're very humble. Congratulations, man. You earned that title.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my coaches, teammates, my team, aka Academy Fight Club Daniel Carme, all my teammates. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
A man of few words, but Germondoev with one of the most dominating performances that we've had here tonight. Our 7th fight of the night so far on the amateur card and 2 title fights in, but we have a 3rd title fight for you guys coming up right here with Derek Cook versus David Mistilov. Johnny's joining me back in on the booth here. I was just talking a little bit. We have Derek Cook and David Mistilov coming up. Johnny, what are your thoughts?
Well, they certainly have an incredible night of action to follow, but it is now time as we get to the main event.
Now for our prelim and main event, please welcome first David Mistilov.
So far, both title fights were absolutely electric. Brandon Aravello winning the lightweight title via Kimura, and then Germondoev with a rear naked choke to win the bantamweight title. And now the welterweight title is at stake in our main event.
Yeah, coming off of a 3rd round submission win at Battle of the Hive, Mistilov is coming in here, confidence soaring, and this is a very challenging man for the matchmakers to match up here.
No question.
So yeah, he's on a really big undefeated run, coming out of AKA and DC's the Academy also.
Yep.
An extremely strong Russian grappler with 2 TKOs and a submission win. And if the last fight was anything to speak of, these Russian grapplers are coming in here, I think we're in for a phenomenal performance.
Well, Mistilov's teammate just walked away with the gold, and he's certainly looking to follow suit. Another high-level freestyle wrestler. Entering tonight, undefeated 4-0 with 2 knockouts and a submission. And, you know, we talk about Germondoev having a non-stop motor. David Mistilov is exactly the same way. He is an exhausting fighter. He never gets tired, and he's only gotten sharper since training with DC's Academy and, of course, AKA, another just lethal combination of gyms. As David Mistilov is ready for title action, back to Garrett Fertig.
And now we welcome Derek Cook.
Well, you can hear the reaction from the Hard Rock Live. Derek Cook has a squad supporting him tonight, and he has been on a tear over the past year. Walking tonight at 3-1 overall on a 3-fight win streak, all submission finishes. He only needed 43 seconds in his most recent fight. And previously, before that, Cook surprised everyone but himself as he was able to submit the previously undefeated Jake Carver with an armbar. He's been training now for 8 years. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, also combines that with Muay Thai training. Derek Cook feels like this is the best he's ever been, and that is really saying something.
Yeah, definitely coming in off that nasty 1st-round submission win at A1 Combat Amateur Series. He really put his name on the map, and now he's in here against David Mistilov. We started on the last fight. You know, we had a high-level grappler, a high-level wrestler, and sometimes they cancel each other out. Sometimes we're in for a treat, and I think we're in for a very high-level grappling fight here again tonight, Johnny. And thus far, a phenomenal night for Standalone Gym. looks to continue that win streak.
Yeah, Derek Cook is looking for the clean sweep here for standalone MMA on the prelims. Thus far, standalone fighters 3-0, including Brandon Aravello walking away with the lightweight title. As Derek Cook has entered the cage, as we go to Garrett Furtick for the official introduction.
We close out the prelims here at A1 Combat 32 with our featured prelim. Three-minute rounds for the A1 Combat Amateur Welterweight Championship. We introduce to you first the Punch Edibles blue corner. He stands 5'9". His official weight 170 pounds with 4 amateur victories, no losses, 2 wins coming by stoppage, 1 by submission. Training at AKA and DC Academy Fight Club from San Jose, California, David Mistulov. And now introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the Punch Edibles red corner at 6 foot even, 169 3/4 pounds officially, 3-1 as an amateur with all 3 wins coming by submission. He represents standalone MMA from Chico, California, Derek. Let him cook.
Piercing stare from Derek Cook.
Come here.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I expect a clean, good fight. Listen to my commands. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves now. Come out ready.
The referee for our A1 Combat Amateur Welterweight Championship, David Shirley.
It will be David Mistulov or Derek Cook walking away as the new A1 Combat Amateur Welterweight Champion.
We talked a little bit on the strong wrestling capabilities of David Mistulov. And just a touch to prepare for this matchup, David Cook has been cross-training with the likes of Anthony Hernandez, Ryan Loader, Max Griffin, and our champion, Buddy Wallace. So,
oh my goodness! Are you kidding me?
No wrestling needed for David Mistulov.
Corey, you couldn't even get your initial thought out before David Mistulov becomes the welterweight champion with an absolute knockout blow.
I made the mistake of blinking, Johnny, so hopefully we can get some replays here as we hope for a speedy recovery for Derek Cook.
Absolutely, we hope Derek Cook will recover quickly. He really is an incredible talent. And he's slowly coming to here.
Such a fast fight. I don't think we can even get a replay out here, Johnny. Absolutely brutal.
I'd have to believe it was an overhand right. But David Mistulov, we talk about being a high-level wrestler. You're teammates with Germondoev. Of course, you have an amazing ground game. But Corey, he's now 5-0. 3 of them are knockouts.
Yeah, absolutely insane. This man is going to be impossible to match. And you got to argue the same as we said with Germondoev. These men are going to have to move up into that pro ranks because I highly doubt that anybody in their right mind is going to want to step in that cage against David Mistulov.
There's no way. I mean, Germondoev and David Mistulov are absolute machines. And with the gyms they are trading at, they continue to get better and better. They're going to do a lot of damage as professionals, and they're going to do that damage in the very near future. Truly incredible.
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited to see both of these guys make their move into the pro ranks. Unfortunately, A1 Combat is the perfect stage for them to do so. As we've touched on, Johnny, grassroots all the way up to professional champions, even to pushing our fighters into the UFC. This show does it all.
And nothing phases the likes of David Mistulov and Germondoev. They always stay so poised and so humble. You heard what Germondoev had to say. He didn't even seem very thrilled that he won the title. For him, it was just something he expected. And I believe Mistulov most likely has the same mindset.
Yeah, definitely. These are guys coming in here with high expectations for themselves, and they're definitely doing themselves proud. Derek Cook up on the stool now, looking to recollect himself a little bit. Definitely seeming to be in better health. But wow, as I said, made the mistake of blinking, and David Mistulov able to make light work of it tonight.
And we expected this prelim card to be explosive, and it more than lived up to the hype. All 3 title fights ending on exciting finishes as we work our way up to the main card on UFC Fight Pass at 7 p.m. Pacific. Let's go back to Garrett for a take.
Ladies and gentlemen, your amateur prelim comes to a close at 17 seconds of the very first round. Declaring your winner by knockout, and now the A1 Combat Amateur Welterweight Champion, David Mistulov.
Congratulations, David Mistulov, the new welterweight champion. Now look, I have to apologize. A lot of us in here, we blinked and we missed it. So can you do that again for us?
Maybe we will see. Nothing magical, just hard work. Thank you to my teammates, my coaches. Thank you, American Kickboxing Academy, DC Fighting Academy, and show must go on. That's it.
What does it mean for you to win the title tonight right after your teammate and friend Garmandoev? Now you both walk away as champions.
It's just good experience for go forward. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I think I speak for everyone when we cannot wait to see what you and Garmandoev do together as you continue in your careers. Congratulations, well deserved. David Mistulov.
David Mistulov looking to make quick work of it tonight as he moves up to 5-0. Definitely going to be a tough man to find future matchups for. Just a note, we are moving on to Fight Pass at 7 p.m. for our professional card. Our main card, as I mentioned, will be at 7 p.m. over on Fight Pass.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Corey. What a prelim card it was. 8 fights, 3 titles won. We thank you so much for joining us live on the A1 Combat YouTube page. Join us in just 15 minutes live on UFC Fight Pass. It will be A1 Combat 32, the women's featherweight title at stake, and the men's bantamweight title on the line in the main event. We will see you there. This has been the A1 Combat Prelims.
I've been invited to stay for dinner. I'm not.